The story begins on a silent, empty road late at night. The camera slowly moves across cracked asphalt and dead leaves scattered everywhere. On the side of the road, a car is standing still. The engine is running. The headlights are on. But there is no one inside. The strangest part is that the car does not look recently parked. It feels like it has been standing there for a long time, as if someone turned it on and simply vanished. The question is obvious. Who came here? Whose car is this? And why was it left like this? To understand the answer, we have to go back a few hours earlier. Earlier that same day, 4 friends were driving together. They were at the beginning of their adult lives. Each of them was about to start a new chapter. New careers, new cities, new responsibilities. This drive was meant to be their last carefree trip together. A final memory before life pulled them in different directions. They decided to leave the city behind. No destination, no rush. Just driving and talking, letting the road decide where they would go. Taylor was driving. James sat beside him. Freshman and Def were in the back seat. Music played softly as the city lights slowly disappeared. At first, everything felt normal. They joked. They laughed. They talked about plans and fears. But as time passed, the road seemed endless. No turns, no buildings, no signs, just trees and darkness. After a long while, Taylor frowned. Something felt wrong. He was sure they had passed the turn earlier. He checked the GPS, but the map showed nothing behind them. No missed road, no alternate path, and strangely, no road ahead either. It was as if the road itself had been erased. Confused and irritated, Taylor decided to turn the car around. He made a sharp U-turn and pressed the accelerator. The car sped forward. Suddenly, the headlights revealed thick bushes and trees. Taylor slammed the brakes. The road ended. Completely. Where moments ago there had been asphalt, now there was dense forest. Tall old trees, roots breaking through the soil. This did not look new. It looked ancient. Taylor stepped out of the car, his heart pounding. He walked forward and pushed aside leaves and dirt, hoping to see broken pavement beneath. There was nothing, only deep hard earth. This forest had been here for centuries. James joined him. Both stood silently trying to understand the impossible. That was when James froze. He saw something move between the trees. Something human. Something watching. Before he could speak, figures began running toward them. From every direction. Men, women, people of all ages. Emerging from the forest. Their faces were empty. Their eyes desperate. Taylor and James stood frozen in fear. The people did not attack. They rushed past them, straight toward the car. Def and Freshman screamed from inside. The crowd surrounded the vehicle. Hands hit the windows. Some scratched, some clawed. Freshman cried out as fingers dug into his arm through the open window. Blood spilled. That was when Taylor understood. They did not want the friends. They wanted the car. He shouted to Def. Def understood instantly. She started the engine, shifted into reverse, and floored it. The sudden movement gave Taylor and James enough time to jump inside. The car shot backward, escaping the crowd. The forest swallowed the people again. Silence returned, but fear remained. No one spoke for a long time. What were those people? Why did they only want the car? There was no time to think. The car kept moving. Freshman was injured. Blood soaked his sleeve. Def wrapped a cloth tightly around the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. Then they saw them again. Another group, but different. These people moved slower, their expressions more hollow. Def drove faster. Hours passed. Or at least it felt that way. No one felt hungry. No one felt tired. Then Def noticed something impossible. The fuel gauge was empty, but the car was still running. They had been driving for hours, yet the fuel had not changed. They stopped briefly to stretch, but kept the engine on, afraid it would never start again. Again the people came, always after the same amount of time. Def spoke what everyone was thinking. This place was wrong. James finally spoke his theory. What if they were dead? What if the crash already happened? And this was what came after. The silence that followed was heavy, but Freshman's wound was healing, slowly. Proof they were alive. They were trapped, not dead, not alive in any normal sense. They decided to keep moving, switching drivers, ignoring the radio that refused to work. Time lost meaning. James proposed another idea, a curse, a punishment. Had they done something wrong? No one had an answer. They decided to test the pattern. They stopped the car, used the horn, and waited. Exactly 90 seconds later, the people appeared. They had 90 seconds of safety. They used that time again and again, exploring, testing. but learned nothing. Finally, they decided to capture one of them. To ask questions, they reversed slowly, giving themselves more time. They pulled a woman from the forest. She would not speak. Her eyes were empty. When the time ended, the forest screamed. They ran back to the car. Nothing learned. Freshman suggested a time loop. He placed a piece of wood on the road. They never saw it again. This place was endless. Days passed, or weeks. No one aged. Then they found another car. Empty. No keys. The odometer showed an impossible number. Hundreds of thousands of miles. Taylor broke. He accelerated wildly, trying to end everything. The others stopped him. Later, Taylor walked into the forest and did not return. They waited, but he was gone. The people came again. They forced Deaf into the car. James said quietly. Taylor had given up. The journey continued, but something inside them had broken. They laughed sometimes, just to feel something. More empty cars appeared. Then something changed. The people came later than usual. More time, more space. James felt hope. He insisted on driving. The others had lost hope. A fight broke out. Keys were taken. James drove alone. Days, months, years. Rain fell for the first time. Then the road ended again. Cars everywhere. The truth was clear. There was no escape. James turned back, still hoping. The cycle continued, and it never ended. James drove alone for a long time. The road felt heavier now, as if it knew he was the last one who still hoped. He talked to himself. He talked to the empty seats. Sometimes he imagined hearing the voices of his friends, laughing, arguing, complaining. But when he looked again, there was only silence. The car never stopped. The engine never failed. The fuel never ended. At some point, James stopped counting time. Days, weeks, years all felt the same. His beard grew, then stopped growing. His face aged, then froze. He realized the place did not allow change. Nothing truly moved forward. One night he saw something different. A light. Far ahead. Not the pale glow of the forest. Not the reflection of the empty cars. A real warm light. Hope returned. He pressed the accelerator. The car moved faster than ever before. Zordigan. As he approached, the light revealed a small town. Houses, street lamps, a diner. James laughed. He cried. He screamed with joy. He parked the car and stepped out. The air felt different, warm, alive. A bell rang as he entered the diner. People looked at him, real people, with expressions, with emotions. A woman smiled and asked if he was okay. James could not speak. Tears ran down his face. He sat. He ate food for the first time. He tasted flavor. He felt full. For a moment, everything felt normal. Then he noticed something. Every person in the diner was wearing the same expression, the same subtle emptiness behind their eyes. He stood up slowly. The woman asked him to sit back down. Her voice echoed, unnaturally. James ran outside. The town was changing. Buildings cracking. Lights flickering. The road behind him was gone. The people were walking toward him, slowly. He ran back to the car, started the engine, and drove. The town vanished behind him, replaced again by endless road. James screamed. He hit the steering wheel. He begged. He cursed. Nothing answered. Eventually he stopped caring. He drove, because driving was all that existed. At some point he saw a familiar shape. Another car. Inside. 4 people. Young. Laughing. Carefree. Just like they once were. James stopped. He stepped out. He tried to warn them. He screamed. He waved. But they did not see him. They passed right through him, as if he was air. James understood. He was now one of the watchers, one of the people in the forest, trapped between moments, bound to the road. The cycle continued. Cars would arrive. People would panic. Some would give up. Some would hope. And the road would never let them go. The empty car still waits. Engine running. Headlights on, waiting for the next ones. Because the road is hungry, and it never ends. More such mysterious and thrilling stories are waiting for you. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch more amazing stories like the James no longer felt fear. Fear needs hope, and hope was gone. He was not walking. He was not driving. He was simply existing. The road accepted him, like it had accepted so many before. He began to notice things he never saw earlier. The forest people were not monsters. They were travelers, broken travelers. Some cried, some screamed, some just stared. They were not chasing cars. They were chasing memories. They wanted to remember who they were. James saw reflections in the windows of passing cars. Sometimes he looked young, sometimes old, sometimes not human at all. Time had completely collapsed. One day, if day even existed, James saw something impossible. The same car again, the same 4 friends, the same laughter. But this time, they stopped. Taylor looked directly at him. For the first time, someone could see him. Taylor stepped out, confused, afraid. James spoke, but no sound came. Then Taylor smiled sadly, as if he understood everything without words. He got back into the car and drove away. James felt something he had not felt in a very long time. Peace. The road was not a punishment. It was a test. Those who fought it suffered. Those who accepted it became part of it. The engine sounds faded. The headlights disappeared. The road became empty again, waiting. Somewhere, another car would turn. Another journey would begin, and the cycle would continue. Because the road does not trap people. People trap themselves. More such mysterious and thrilling stories are waiting for you. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch more amazing stories like this.